Let me show you all how to easily make agua de horchata de fresa. In other words, strawberry horchata. Yes, so refreshing and tasty and perfect for summertime. This recipe is so easy. Let's get into it. First, you will need to gather all of your ingredients. You will need uncooked white rice, long or medium grain, water for soaking, a cinnamon stick or ground cinnamon, fresh strawberries, evaporated milk, vanilla extract, granulated sugar, and more water. In a bowl, you will combine the 1 cup of uncooked white rice with a cinnamon stick or 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, but I recommend a cinnamon stick. I'm using this very chunky cinnamon stick that I have in my apothecary, which is so perfect for the flavor. You're going to add 4 cups of hot water over the rice and the cinnamon stick. You are going to let it soak at room temperature for at least 4 hours or overnight for the best flavor. I did 4 hours because I just couldn't wait. I really wanted strawberry horchata that day. But if you want the best flavor, I do recommend that you allow this to sit overnight so that it soaks up all of that flavor. Gently give this all a mix, but once again, just be patient. This recipe overall takes about 4.5 hours, but mainly because you have to wait for that to soak. Okay, next up is that you need to wash your strawberries. Please make sure to wash your strawberries properly. I just use a splash of white distilled vinegar with water and I allowed them to sit for 10 to 15 minutes. And as you will see, the water is going to get really gross and disgusting here in a few minutes because, again, make sure to wash your strawberries properly because you're going to be consuming this. Real quick, I want to mention that if you don't have evaporated milk or you don't want to use that, you can also swap it out for regular milk, almond milk, or oat milk, or coconut milk, any of that. Anyways, look at these strawberries. Ew, so nasty. Yeah, so make sure to wash them, of course, and then drain them. Drain the water because you're going to take the little green part off and then chop them up. Chop them up, chop them up. Okay, I don't know why I got so many strawberries, honestly. For this recipe, you will only need 1 cup of fresh strawberries and then a little extra if you want to add more into your glass, into your cup, which I think it just makes it look very beautiful and it gives it a little more flavor. This recipe makes about 2 liters, which is about 8 cups, which comes to about 6 to 8 glasses. If you're serving in regular cups, like an 8-ounce cup, it'll make 8 servings. If you're serving in larger glasses, like a 12-ounce, it may make 6 servings. All right, once the 4 hours has passed by, you will pour the soaked rice, cinnamon, and soaking water into a blender. The cinnamon stick should be soft now because it was soaking, so you should be able to break it into small pieces. I don't have a blender, so I'm using my food processor, but it works the same. You will blend this for 2 to 3 minutes until the rice is ground and the liquid looks cloudy. You will see me drain this in a few, but then I realized, wait, I still have so much rice that could be blended more. So I put it back into the food processor, added a little bit of liquid, and then I blended it again until I got more goodness out of it. So once you blend for a few minutes, you will use a fine mesh strainer or a cheesecloth to strain the rice mixture into a clean bowl or a pitcher, as I did there, and then you could discard the leftover solids. Now you will grab your chopped up strawberries and add them to your food processor and add a little bit of the rice liquid. Blend the fresh strawberries and some of that liquid until this is smooth. Once this is all blended up, then you can add 1 cup of evaporated milk along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Now you will see me add vanilla paste instead of vanilla extract because that's all that I had, and it works the same honestly, but the vanilla paste, I do find that it has a much lighter flavor, so you can adjust it to your liking. Also, in my opinion, the sugar is optional if you don't want this to be super sweet. But then again, if you do enjoy this to be sweeter, then just, again, adjust it to your liking. You will add that all into the blender or your food processor and then once again blend it all together. Give it a little taste once it's done blending just to see if you need to add more sweetener, if that's what you desire. Blend, 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 blend. The food processor is so handy. I love this machine. It is incredible for all my Mexican recipes. Now you will add that little strawberry puree mix that you just made in with the rice milk. And then you will add 3 to 4 more cups of cold water depending on how thick or light you want your horchata. I recommend that you start off with like 2 or 3 cups first and then taste it to see if you like it. And if you want it lighter, then add 1 more cup of water. To be honest, I feel like I could have made this sweeter or just add less water. And then to serve, you can add some ice to a cup and then some more crushed and diced strawberries. Pour that beautiful horchata. Make sure that it's all mixed so that the flavor is fully incorporated with all of the ingredients. And there you go. Now you know how to make some authentic agua de horchata de fresa. Make this recipe for your friends and family. Share this video. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any recipes. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or comments. I would love to hear from you, and I appreciate you joining my YouTube community. We are growing over here, and I appreciate all of you guys. I hope you enjoy.